What is going on, everyone? Anthony Live 765 here. If you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. Thank you to all who have subbed this far, and thank you to all of you that will in the future. I really appreciate it. Now, with this video, you've seen the title, Money Well Spent? Question mark. Jamarr Chase and T. Higgins both secure the bag this offseason, actually on the same exact day. Total value of those contracts combined was $276 million. Chase got a 4-year, $161 million deal, while T. Higgins got a 4-year, $115 million deal. Now, Jamar Chase, well deserved. We know Mr. Triple Crown himself. He definitely deserved to secure the bag, no doubts about it. Leading the league in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Jamar Chase, in my opinion, definitely the best wide receiver in the NFL, hands down. You got a close comparison with Justin Jefferson or whoever else you want to throw in there. But to me, Jamar Chase, hands down the best. He proved it last season. No more debate. But the expectations is high for these two. You put a lot of money into this wide receiver core. Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase with a combined $115 million towards the cap. $115 million between three players. While your entire defense cap hit is only $79 million. That's nasty work. The Bengals, I believe, relied on the draft. They relied on cheap work, cheap labor. They wanted to grab guys that they could just place in there with minimal hit towards the salary cap. That's why you bring in a Taven. That's why you bring in the TJ Slayton. That's why you bring in those guys like that, just to plug and just fill the holes and just throw bodies. They're just honestly just bodies, not really superstars in my opinion. The Cincinnati Bengals have put their entire eggs in the Jamar Chase and Higgins basket. That's the offense. T. Higgins last year missed 5 games. What happens if T. Higgins gets hurt? What happens if T. Higgins misses 5, 6, 7, 8 games again this season? Because he's missed at least 5 games the last 2 seasons, if I'm not wrong. I believe I'm right. What happens if T. Higgins gets hurt? Then the entire world, you're gonna be the laughing stock of the entire sports world. You're gonna be on the cover. You're gonna be the topic of conversation. They're gonna tell you how you messed up. They're gonna tell you why. They're gonna say, why would you do that? Nobody's really saying it now. Nobody's really come out and said they made a big mistake yet. But let T. Higgins miss 5 games again this season. That's what everybody's going to be talking about. I personally, I know they have a great chemistry in Cincinnati. I know Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they love T. Higgins. That's why they flexed their muscle during contract negotiations. Jamar Chase used his own contract leverage to leverage for T. Higgins. That was part of his contract negotiations. Was if they wanted him to come back, T. Higgins was gonna come back too with him. Also, Joe Burrow was very public in saying that T. Higgins was a key part of the success of the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's how that they would win championships. Yeah, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase flexed their muscles. They forced the hand of the ownership in Cincinnati to re-sign T. Higgins. Now, T. Higgins probably could have went and signed a bigger contract somewhere else for a non-contender. I believe with the chemistry they have here and how competitive that the Bengals actually are, that it made sense for him to stay here. He's been here his entire career so far, and he's going to secure a bag. Sometimes guys are willing to take less money to stay in good situations. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me see here. Yeah, and it definitely helped that T. Higgins and Jamar Chase have the same agent. So that definitely helped streamline the negotiation process. The Bengals put all their eggs in the T. Higgins Jamar Chase basket. In my opinion, they leave the defense the same. Maybe a little better. Maybe the defense got a little better. But this team lies on the shoulders of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow. Whatever they do is what this team would do. If one of these players go down, and T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, it will be felt. You will see it. They did not leave no room for the rest of the team. No wiggle room. Yes, you have Yoshavash. Yes, you have my guy. I forget his name off the top of my head. I'm blanking. You have Charlie Jones, Jermaine Burton. If T. Higgins goes down, it will be felt. It would be felt, in my opinion. But, yeah. Was the money well spent in Cincinnati? You let me know. Make sure you subscribe. Anthony Live 765. Peace.